How
It's
has it been some of your experiences with Ho'oponopono?
well, I think the most powerful thing is I don't have I'm second best and I'm not good enough anymore. I think that's where the Ho'oponopono has really done its best work in my life. And I had that for years, and my relationships reflected back to me because there was always a third party, and the person would say, I don't want to be with you anymore. So
Right.
that was reflected back to me in all the relationships again and again and again. So when was it? I think it was 2015 when I did my coaching course. That's when I was first introduced to it because it was part of the
Oh,
course.
oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And I remember doing it and thinking, wow, I really love this idea of that when something's in front of you, I'm dissolving the part of me that brought
That,
that to me, or the part of me that created that. And I'd never heard of that at that point. I had heard of everyone's you pushed out, but I didn't actually put two and two together that they really dovetail together at that time.
yeah.
So I started doing the cleaning on my history around I'm not good enough and I'm second best. And I can honestly say to you, I don't recall the last time I felt either one of those things.
That's amazing. So
Mm.
how did you go about it? Did you make an intention about I want to clean on not feeling good enough?
No, I didn't use setting an intention per se. I have done since then,
Yeah.
but at that point, what I did was I'd be in the middle of feeling second best and not good enough, and usually rejected, and someone had kicked me to the curb or something.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of the emotion. So while I was in that heavy emotion of feeling really rejected, really abandoned, really awful, that's when I would start doing the cleaning. And then usually a lot of pain would come up, and I'd have this
Hmm.
big emotional purge. And then from
Hmm.
that, it was like, oh,
Oh, yeah,
and
you
then I'd
feel this
fall
relief.
asleep. Yeah. So it's like you have this big you have the pain, it's stuck in your body, usually in your heart and in your gut.
Hmm.
Then you go, I can't eat and I can't sleep if it's heavy duty pain.
Hmm.
And I want to die. It's usually that feeling comes up. And then from
Yeah.
that, I thought, okay, I want to shift that. So I would do Ho'oponopono. I'd have this massive, all that pain, all that hurt would come up.
Hmm.
And then I would cry for a couple of hours, and then I'd be exhausted. I'd fall asleep. Then I'd wake up, and it might be that I had a full night's sleep, or it might be that I just fell asleep for a couple of hours. But I would wake up and feel such relief that that thing had been removed. But also, it was like you'd have a bit of a tired hangover for about 24 hours. Then you'd kind of
Hmm.
need one more sleep. And
Yeah.
then on the second wake up, you would feel, wow, I feel invigorated. I feel happy. I feel like this lightness. It's like my insides were like, set in concrete. And then
Yeah.
letting that out, it's like you just go, wow, I feel so much better. So I would say that is the greatest Ho'oponopono thing I have got rid of. Those, well, not second best, not good enough. They were hand in hand for me, both of
Yeah.
those.
That is amazing. You cleaned to zero.
Yeah, I think I cleaned. I mean, I didn't just do it once. I think I
Yeah,
would
you
have
go in
done it.
layers.
Yeah, I would say I've probably done that one, at least 20 times
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my life since 2015. I would have done that about 20 times. But it's like the voltage of it,
Yeah.
even as it got less and less and less, and to the point where it's like, I don't even see any evidence of that anymore.
That is amazing.
It
But
is.
probably
Yeah,
it probably was super strong because you were in the middle of the emotion. That's why
totally.
sometimes when you want to clean on a problem that you know you have,
Yeah.
but you're not in the middle of it emotionally, it's
Yes.
kind of like hard to pinpoint what you're going to be working on. So that's why a lot of people make an intention. Okay, I'm going to clean on this.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to clean on this specifically.
Yeah.
But it's just so damn. I was actually speaking to a family member trying to explain to her hooponopono.
Yeah.
And she was like, wait, this is too deep. And I was like, it's very deep. It's very deep.
Yeah.
This is the work.
Yeah.
This is the work. You know, and she
That's
was
it.
actually asking me very good questions. She was like, but what happens to a child? So what happens to like a child that is born without any limiting beliefs and something really messed up happens to them? That's not their fault. And I was like, well, because this is the catch though. We don't come, by the time we're born, we're not 100% without limiting beliefs because we come with generational trauma from our parents.
Yep.
And it gets passed on through the DNA and through the umbilical cord. Those strong emotions, the strong beliefs, they come from, you're born already with a few preset beliefs.
That's right.
And it's just like, wow, like it's so amazing. I am super excited about continuously learning more on it. I read about, I think, Ad Zero, which is the second book of you know, the Joe Vitale collection. That one is not really from Dr. Hewland's perspective. Like Dr. Hewland didn't write the second book with him.
Okay.
So he based the second book more on Morna's teachings.
Okay.
Which is also very, like, it has a lot of really good information. Yeah. So
actually, exciting. We can put some links to Morna and links to other Ho'oponopono things that have helped us, YouTube's books or whatever, down in the description, because, you know, along the way, there have been some really fantastic things. And also meditations that we've used on YouTube from specific people on this topic, because there's lots of different ones.
Did you ever do the Dr. Hewland inner child meditation? I've done that one a few times.
Well, that one I probably did at least 100 times.
I haven't done it that many times.
Because what I would do is I would use it in those days, because it's only a 16-minute one.
Yeah.
And if I was in the middle of something, I would put that meditation on, and if I was still, the stuff was still coming out, I would hit repeat, and I'd do it 4 times in a row. So it would be on for four rounds, which will be an hour. And that was really the most wonderful, well, meditation to offload a lot of negative emotion about childhood, because it's specifically about the inner child.
You know, it's so interesting that we're moving to the inner child conversation now, because before I started this whole journey, I was, you know, I was a few months in to the relationship with my specific person the first time around, before the first breakup happened.
Yep.
And I was already getting anxiety attacks. I was getting anxiety attacks and panic attacks. And I didn't know anything about any of this. And I think I went onto YouTube. There was this teacher, I would have to search for him again. He passed away a long time ago. And he talks about childhood trauma, like how, you know, what does it mean? And you know, and all that stuff. And out of nowhere, I just got this feeling. I got this feeling that my inner child, my inner Mariana, was screaming. I got this sensation that I was getting these panic attacks and anxiety attacks because it was her. It was her that was screaming.
Yeah. And
I literally remember, I didn't know anything about, you know, meditations. Maybe I had already started reading Dr. Joe Dispenza, maybe. I just know I sat down in meditation as best as I could. And I started to visualize myself as a young girl, as a little girl. I remember I brought it down to at a specific scene that was very traumatizing to me when I was little. And I remember I started speaking to her, and I remember like she turned around to look at me. And I held her and I started speaking to her. And I remember I said, I'm here for you. I'm here. It's okay. It's okay. And that was such an experience for me. I remember I even wrote a whole page down from me to my inner child. I'm here. You're protected. You are safe. You're never alone. And I remember telling my therapist, because I had a therapist back then. I mean, he's been the same one I have. I don't speak to him that often, but I love him. And I remember telling him about it. And he was like, did you research it ahead of time? And I was like, no. After I did it, I tried to find some information on Google about it. But what they had mentioned to do, I had already done it without, like knowing what to do. I just kind of went in trying to heal the pain.
Yeah.
Because you need that. Like your inner child is completely linked to your self-love.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're reparenting yourself. You're giving to the inner child all the love, that it needed to be given to them when you were little.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're giving it to them now.
Yes.
And then you're creating that, that connection so that you're both able to kind of move forward. So that inner child meditation is super, super strong.
It is. It's a good one. It's short if you don't have a lot of time, but you can obviously hit replay again and again. And, there's the woman I interviewed in Sydney, Australia. She was trying to buy a house, and she said that she had accumulated a lot of negative thoughts about and beliefs about real estate agents and past interactions with homeowners, and she said she did hooponopono on that specific topic. And she was trying to, 1, sell her place, and 2, buy a new place. And everything was at a stalemate for a long time, like over a year. And her and I talked about hooponopono. And then after we had that conversation, she went and applied this. And she did the cleaning on all past real estate agents. She did all the cleaning on past homeowners that she'd gone to see the house and they were rude, or the real estate lady that, just had a bad attitude or didn't return her calls or whatever. She did the cleaning on all this stuff. And within a extremely short period of time, not only did her house sell, but a house that she had wanted to buy, which was too expensive, the price, and then the person that wanted to buy it fell through. And then some months later, it showed back up on the market again. And she ended up securing this very place. And she used hooponopono on that. Yeah, it was really interesting. I'll put the link down below for that, because it's nice to see how it's used for relationships, or for home buying, or for weight loss, or for, romantic relationships, or relationship with your mom, or it can be used on everything.
On everything.
So fantastic. So it's great seeing people's examples of how they used it on what topic they used it for.
Yeah, I have used it on pain, on like physical pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have used it, like if I have cramps.
Yes.
Or like I have used it to kind of like calm myself down with the pain. And after a while, the pain goes away.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad we talked about this, because it's I use hooponopono every day, and it's almost like I forget that I'm even like to actually.
The word.
Well, you just go, it's on automatic pilot it's the first thing I do in the morning. It's like,
great.
as soon as I'm starting to hatch, the Ho'oponopono just starts, because I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a toothbrush for the head. It's like it gives a bit of your head a clean out before
Yeah.
you enter the day. And then, I hop in the shower, and then it's 20 things I'm grateful for. So, but the Ho'oponopono is the thing I go to, especially if I'm, say, worried about someone, and I don't want to worry because that's not helpful. If I feel angry about something and I go for a walk, I'll do Ho'oponopono for at least 45 minutes, and it calms me down. And
Yeah.
it's like, it is such a wonderful thing, because you're not trying to get to a end result, as in, I want to manifest that job, that money, that person, that outcome. You are not, it's a general thing. It's
Yeah.
like
You just want, yeah.
it's
It's
a
like you're just
balm.
looking for the release.
You're looking for the release and the relief. Exactly. And that's why it's so great, because it pulls you away from trying to manifest something. And yeah, I cannot say my life's been the same since I came across it.
It's so good with anger.
Isn't
There are
it?
times when I'm so angry,
Yes.
ugh, and I
Yeah.
just put it on. Sometimes I'm so angry, like I can't even stand myself. And I
Yes.
pop in a meditation just to hear it in the background, because sometimes I'm so angry I don't even want to say the words.
Yes.
And I just put it
Yeah.
on the background, and after like 20 minutes you're like, wow.
Yeah, I know. That's good. So maybe the viewers that have watched this far into this recording today can share down below with us if they use it, how long they use it for, and what topics they've used it for, and if they have had some success or some relief in any particular area, that they share it with us so that we can see what they're using it on, because there's so many different things you can use it for. So
So many, everything.
everything. So
Everything.
yeah.
Because I read stories that people just use it to, even there was a story in one of the books about a guy that just sells cars.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just use Ho'oponopono 24/7 while I'm working, and I just sell a bunch of cars.
Isn't that
Yeah, like
great?
it's just amazing. And it's
Yeah.
like it's four beautiful words.
Mm.
It just feels so cleansing. You feel just
Mm.
like, ah.
Yeah. Mariana, someone sent me, I can't remember, in the last year or so, it was a photograph of a retail shop, and it said, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you," was the name of the shop. And I remember thinking, what a great idea. Like, it's the name of a retail store. Like, you would have to know what that means. It didn't say
Yeah.
Ho'oponopono. It just had the four statements. And I remember thinking, if you didn't know what that meant, you wouldn't have known what the power of that name of that shop was. And I remember thinking, wow, what a great idea.
Some people actually have tattooed the words on them,
Ah, okay.
and they do it with the intention that it's still cleaning. So there's a few words that Dr. Hewlin talks about that are like ever cleansing words, like seaport is one of them. And you can just on if you go on like one of their websites, you can buy certain things that are like nonstop cleaners for Ho'oponopono, but it does come into, with the explanation that literally anything you want could be a
Mm,
cleaning tool, because you believe it as a cleaning tool.
yeah.
It's like they sell stickers, like things you could put in your book bag, and it's like you put it
Mm,
on, and the item has been cleaned to zero. So it
mm-hmm.
becomes like a cleaning tool that just cleans for you nonstop.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I'm so
Yeah.
glad you brought this up as a topic when we were emailing each other, because it is so fantastic. And I want to say, for those that either know you or haven't seen you before, that you have got a fabulous meditation channel, and you've got a now coaching practice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the links to those down below so people can contact you if they want to chat to you or ask you anything or book a session or listen to your wonderful meditations, because we know that you are now doing meditations on all these topics to do with self-love, hooponopono, EFT,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So do you want to say
Yes.
anything about what you're doing before we sign off?
So my YouTube channel is a work of love. It's very dear to my heart because I feel like, as a human being that has gone through so much, one of the things that we really need is to feel, connected, is to be able to kind of find a person that understands what you've been
Yeah.
through and
Yeah.
validates what you've been through. You know how hard it is that you're going through something and a person can't, they don't really understand it. They can't put themselves in other person's shoes.
Yeah.
And even though we don't, with the law, we don't really want to emotionally attach ourselves to the other problem. We are sensitive to the situation because we have been through it.
Yeah.
So my channel is about, my journey and a lot of other people's journey on how to get out of the funk, how to overcome traumatic events,
Yes.
kind of like acknowledging that you can overcome the trauma, how to overcome it. Because I hate when people don't tell you how to do certain things.
Yes.
How to overcome it, and by doing so, how that opens the door for you to be able to manifest what you want. So we have all the dears to me. We have hooponopono. We have EFT tapping, which is super powerful as well. We have the meditations. We're going to start having a lot of audiobooks. I just recorded one, At Your Command by Neville. So there's going to be a lot more to come. And there might even be some content in Spanish coming soon.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent stuff.
Because
the Spanish community will love that.
Yes, and I feel like it's kind of like there's not a lot of content out there to be able to help them the same way.
Yep.
And I think we need that. And I think the more that we educate ourselves and the more that we heal our own selves and understand that we are worthy and good enough, the better it is for the world. So it's kind of like you're not just doing this for yourself. It's like, oh, we want to change the world. But in reality, the only way that we can change the world is by changing ourselves, because we are the world. Everyone is you pushed out. So the more you heal, the more the world heals.
That's it. That's it. Actually, I'll put that playlist down below too. Everyone's you pushed out, because it dovetails nicely with Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for showing up with me. You and I go back a long way. When we first met in the Neville group that we used to belong to, and you and I have sort of our paths have crossed since then, which I really love. I'm always thrilled to talk to you and to see where you started and where you are. It is an absolute amazing story. Actually, I'll put the interviews we've done down below for people that haven't heard your story too.
And I don't know, I'm getting a little jealous that you keep on meeting all of these friends in London. And I'm like, when are you coming to New York?
Yes, I think New York and Los Angeles are definitely on the radar. We're meeting up this Saturday with about 6 of us in London, because the weather's been amazing weather. So we're going to meet down by the canal at King's Cross this
we should
Saturday.
We should plan a trip. We should plan a trip to a country. Let's go to the Caribbean. And let's do like a trip of a few days, or like a workshop, so we could do like an intensive training while we're there.
Yes, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. The Caribbean, I'm in. If it's the Caribbean, I'm in.
Let's go.
Well, thank you, Mariana. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I will see you, as always, on YouTube. And Mariana will see you as well on YouTube, on her channel.
YouTube, yes.
Links down below for you, for those of you that want to explore a bit further. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
And Mariana and I will see you on YouTube if you pop in and see us. Lots of love.
Bye.